You ever get that feeling that the old rules of work just don't apply anymore? You're not wrong. It's like the map we were all given has been totally erased, and the link between just working hard and actually getting ahead feels broken. Well, this is your guide for a new way forward. Consider it a manifesto for how to actually thrive in the age of AI.
I see people climbing with immense effort, yet they are failing. That quote just hits you, right? It perfectly captures the problem. All around us, you see smart, talented people working harder than ever, but they're just not getting anywhere. And they're not failing because they're lazy. They're failing because the tools and the methods they're using are completely obsolete. So, what is really going on here?
Here's the big idea, the central metaphor for our time. The modern career has become a frictionless wall. Just picture it, a perfectly smooth, polished surface, where the old handholds, things like just memorizing facts or following the rules, they offer zero grip. So all that hard work, when you apply it to this new surface, it just leads to burnout.
And that leads us to a really critical question. What if trying to climb this wall is the wrong strategy altogether? What if the real path forward isn't up at all, but somewhere else entirely?
Okay, first things first, let's really get a handle on this wall. Understanding what it's made of is the first step to figuring out how to navigate this new world.
The difference between then and now is just stark. The industrial age had what you might call friction. Things were slower, more manual, and that friction created handholds, predictable career ladders. But AI is the ultimate lubricant. It smooths everything out, automating tasks and removing all that human drag from the system. And what's left is this sleek, efficient, but incredibly slippery surface.
So, if climbing is out, what's the alternative? This is where things get a little radical. We've arrived at an idea called the Great Descent. And yeah, it's about a fundamental shift in direction.
Think about your old qualifications for a second. The generic degrees, the standardized skills we all chased. They're like wooden ladders. And when you prop a wooden ladder against a frictionless wall, it just slips right out from under you. You've got to let go of the ladder and, believe it or not, descend into what this manifesto calls the tunnel of possibility. It's a place where our very human messiness and our friction suddenly become our greatest strengths.
Okay, but once you're in this tunnel, it's going to be dark and pretty uncertain. The old maps are useless and job trends change way too fast to follow. You need an internal guide. You need a compass.
And that guide is your internal compass. Think of it like an ikigai for the machine age. And it's built on 4 key signals. First, passion. What puts you in that state of flow that a machine can't even comprehend? Second, mission. What uniquely human need can you serve that can't be automated away? Third, vocation. What messy, hands-on skills have you mastered through experience? And finally, profession. Where can you apply uniquely human judgment instead of just labor? This compass, this is what gives you direction when the world offers you none.
Now, knowing your direction is one thing, but having the right tools for the journey is another. So, what do you actually need to navigate this tunnel?
First off, we have to completely blow up how we think about learning. The old model of just stacking up degrees and certifications is broken. The new model that's emerging is this 70-20-10 framework.
And here's the breakdown, and this is pretty wild. A massive 70% of your real value now comes from experience, from taking on the messy, ill-defined, tough jobs that AI just can't touch. Another 20% comes from social learning, your mentors, your peers, and only 10%, just 10% comes from that formal education. So the lesson here is huge. Stop trying to build a taller ladder with more certificates and start seeking out the rough earth experiences that build real, irreplaceable grit.
So what happens when you hit those inevitable setbacks in the tunnel? You adopt the mindset of kintsugi. It's this beautiful Japanese art of repairing broken pottery. But instead of hiding the cracks, they highlight them with gold, making the object more beautiful and more valuable because of its broken history.
This exact mindset is the key to an anti-fragile career. You experience a break, a project fails, a skill you spent years on becomes obsolete. But instead of just bouncing back, you reinforce that crack with gold. With new insights, new wisdom, you actually emerge stronger and more unique because you were broken. This isn't just resilience. This is true anti-fragility.
Another huge tool in your kit is understanding your unique human advantage. Look, AI is the king of analysis. It breaks things down. But our greatest strength is synthesis. It's connecting things. An AI can analyze a legal brief and a poem, sure, but it can't find the deeper meaning between them.
By weaving together totally different threads of knowledge, say ancient philosophy and AI ethics, you create what's called a niche of one, a category where you literally have no competition.
And all of this, it's all building toward one thing: cultivating your human premium. These are the qualities, the skills, and the connections that make you truly irreplaceable. As the journey gets tougher, you're going to need oxygen. And that oxygen is human connection, which is embodied in the principle of Ubuntu: I am because we are. In the tunnel, going it alone is a fatal mistake. You need a moai. That's a concept from Okinawa for a dedicated support system. And this isn't just networking. It's a deep, trust-based alliance for mutual survival.
And finally, the ultimate tool is learning how to partner with AI in the right way. Don't see it as a competitor. See it as your exoskeleton. You delegate all the frictionless, logical tasks, the data sorting, the first drafts, to the machine. And this saves your energy for what only a human, the navigator, can do. Exercise ethical judgment, understand nuance, and make those really high-stakes, meaningful decisions. So, after all this descending into the dark, finding your compass, where does it all lead? Well, it leads to a complete reframing of what success even means in this new world.
And this is the ultimate point right here. The goal of descending into that tunnel isn't to reach some specific job title or salary. The true destination is the person you become along the way. By choosing this difficult path, you transform yourself from a replaceable part into an irreplaceable navigator.
Look, this isn't just theory, it's a practical guide. You can start today. Delegate one simple, repetitive task to an AI. This week, lean into that friction and seek out a tough project, one that actually scares you a little. And this month, connect with your support system, your moai, and start talking strategy about how you're going to navigate this new world together.
The old world is gone, and the maps that came with it are totally useless. The journey ahead is yours and yours alone to chart. So the only question left is, what tools, what compass, what mindset, what community are you going to use to draw your own?